Hey everybody, Nushi here, and we're back with another deck reviews. As you can see right here, we have the League Battle deck, Zekrom and Pikachu deck right here, along with the Alolan Raichu and Raichu. But yeah, I was like, you know what? Let's get into this. And for those of you who don't know, with any pre-made deck such as this, we're going to be taking a look at what's inside of it as well to see if it's bang for your buck or not. So, whether I suggest it again like that, I'm 99.99% certain this is going to hit it out of the ballpark right here. The Jirachis are worth a lot. I paid $35 Canadian, so let's get straight into this opening, and I'll tell y'all if this is worth it. Alright, we're going to get straight into opening this League Battle deck. Now, I already looked online about it, and I already know this is going to get a check mark for value. So, there are 4 Jirachis from the team up set, which obviously has dropped the price of them a lot, but regardless, they're about $3, so 3 times 4, these 2 cards right here and this, and then whilst looking online, the code card for this is around $15. So right there, with those 3 promo cards and the Jirachis, that's already profit right there, or not profit, but enough money, plus the other good stuff that you get in here. Now, I don't know the prices of everything right off the top of my head, but I'm getting ready to just open this. So let's go. Now, as I said right there, this is already going to pass the value for money. So just everything else that we're looking at right here is just kind of a bonus. So let's see here. We get these 2 things right here, which, what is this exactly? Or is this just kind of like a little poster, I take it? Yeah, it's kind of like a little poster, which is kind of cool. Nothing really like special or ordinary. I like the Reshiram and Charizard deck. It is also really good, but yeah, and then here's some rules for the TCG, the Pokemon Trading Card Game rules. Let's move this stuff to the side and keep going here. Open this up right here. Oh no, I moved the camera. Okay, let's get this going. Now, I'm probably not going to use this deck myself, so I'm probably just going to collect the cards, or these ones at least. You can see right there, we got the 3 cards, the 2 Pikachu and Zekroms, and the 1 Raichu and Alolan Raichu. See the token right here, which is a good quality one, and as well as the tokens right there. Actually, no, the Team Up tins were probably the best ones, I'd say, for the tag team thing, but yeah, you got the dice right there, which these in general don't really have much value anyways, but there you can see the code card. As I said, you could probably sell that for about $15 US. And when I mean $35, I mean in Canadian. So yeah, let me just move this a tad bit. There you go. So now let's just keep going here. So let's see what you got. So the Tapu Koko obviously adds value to it. These trainers, most of them are actually worthwhile for using. So even then, like for the most part, say these trainers are $1, you got to consider that as well in these values. So let's keep going here. Like the Marnie as well. Let's keep going. Yeah, it's worthwhile. I wasn't sure. I know for some of the battle arenas, the energies were rare, or not rare, but they were holos. So you can see the Jirachi right there. Energies. But yeah, for the most part, like the Jirachis and stuff are what really bring these value for money in these decks. Just keep going, just like a quick sim through. There's 4 Jirachis in there, but nonetheless, that is about $15 or that is more than $35, which is what I initially paid for this. And in saying that, that's 35 Canadian. 35 American is actually more, so that is profit. So when it comes to money for value, this is a big thumbs up on if you want to purchase it. So, yeah, I 100% purchasing it IRL. But that's not all we're going to go. Let's get into the actual online TCG go on this. Or the online TCG portion of this. Alright, so we are here with the online portion of this deck reviews right here. It's basically going to be the exact same as what you saw, like when we were opening it. Basically the 4 Jirachis, the Alolan Raichu, and the Raichu GX, 2 Pikachu and Zekrom GXs. Basically almost the exact same from what you saw. Actually, the exact same from what you saw from the opening. You can see the trainers right there, an Air Balloon, 2 Vitality Bands, 3 Professor's Research, 2 Marnies, 2 Lanas. I think the big portion of this is just having the 4 Jirachis. oh my gosh, in the online TCG, the Jirachi is like king. Okay, so being able to have 4 Jirachis just like this from any pre-built deck is a win-win, and this is one of the biggest reasons why I'd really recommend buying this deck. Obviously, 11 electric energies right there. See electromagnetic radar, 3 of those, 2 energy switches, 2 ordinary rods. Basically, what you saw during the unboxing. So let's get on to this. So you know the rules. In order to get a good review, it has to beat the test deck. So do you think it could do it? I'm more than confident enough that it will. So I'll see y'all at the end of the test. As you can see right here, they got 5 prize cards. So basically, I started off really bad. I had to start off with an 8 bomb and a Jirachi, so I had to sacrifice a Jirachi, which isn't really that bad or like that big of a deal, in all honesty. Still a very comfortable win right here. So let me just take the last prize card, and then that is the test deck complete. So there are the summary right there, done. So this has officially passed the test deck, which is obviously a really good sign. So let's get on to the review portion of this review. So what I gotta say about this deck is that this deck is actually pretty well built. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of cards in here that you will be able to use, especially if you're planning on making another deck or if you just want the base for the Pikachu and Zekrom deck. However, in standard, this deck is just not meta enough or it's not built well enough to be able to be used in the online TCG. You're going to be losing a lot. Then again, you will be able to win a couple of games here and there, but once you get to those players who know how to use a really good deck and so forth, once you face your Dragapult Vs, your Reshizards, all those decks that are well built, that people have spent time to be able to perfect their deck, you're just not going to be able to win. This deck obviously has lots of cards, and what I'm always going to keep saying about this deck is that when it comes to value, this deck is king. The Jirachi's in there, the Marnie's in there, the Tapu Koko. So many cards that you're able to use when you want to make an electricity deck or a Pikachu and Zekrom deck. It's all, well, almost all here, but it has so many cards missing to make it a great meta deck that I honestly can't give it an amazing rating. It's missing the cards like Thunder Mountain, which, again, what it'll do is it'll make it cost any electric type Pokemon 1 less electric energy, and that's crucial at the very beginning of a duel. Your Zorua GX, so you can't switch or retreat for free. Your Dedenne, which I know isn't necessarily like an electric meta, but it is a meta. I just thought I'd throw that in there. Your Bolton V, which has an electrify move, and what that does is that lets you put electric energies on your Pokemon, and that is crucial for setting up. Another thing about this deck is it has a lot of useless cards, and a big example of that is Rotom Bike. Now, I feel like this could be used greatly at the very beginning of a duel, but it's also unlikely that you're able to get it at the very beginning of a duel. Like, this deck does have a lot of pros and cons. There is some good ways to use it. Obviously, the main portion of the Pikachu and Zekrom deck is that you use your Pikachu and Zekrom as your power hitter. You use it to be able to set up. Once you get those 3 electric energies on it, you can attack it. The best way to set that up is obviously use a quick ball, get rid of an electric energy, get a Tapu Koko in there as well, so you're able to set up the Pikachu and Zekrom even sooner. But it just, like, with the cards that you have in this deck, it just seems a little rough. Obviously, the Jirachis can help you get those cards, but again, when it comes to flaws, this deck just has lots. And unfortunately, I can't give it a higher rating. I feel like a C is a proper way to give this a deck, but again, when it comes to value, the value is the main reason why I'm not going to put it in the D, but again, you're able to win some matches with this deck. There's not, like, this deck is just not a bad deck to say the least. Like, it is capable of doing some stuff. It does mimic a Pikachu and Zekrom deck somewhat well enough to be able to hold up to its own. Again, a lot of it is using the Alolan Raichu and Raichu to switch, use the switch attack, Pikachu and Zekrom to be able to set up your team, Tapu Koko set it for setup, and the Jirachis to be able to set it up. But this deck, again, is just missing so much that I can't really sit here and be like, hey, this deck is amazing. really use this online, I say buy it because it is absolutely worth the money, especially if you play the TCG online or the TCG in general, because you're going to be able to use the cards in there. But past that, if you're going to use the deck, it's just not worth it. Like, the cards in there are, but the deck itself is just not going to be able to hold up. So that's why I'm going to give it a C, just because the value for money does push it above a D to not be worth anything. And again, you're able to win some things from this deck, but you're not going to be able to win a lot. So I'm not going to be sitting here being like, it's amazing if you're only able to win, say, 1 in 5 or 1 in 6 duels, because then that's just not right. So unfortunately, I think a C is a proper rating for this deck. But what I would also like to say is, if you're watching the footage a little bit, I know I'm not going to be showing the full duel of this battle, but my opponent has a Pikachu and Zekrom deck, and you can kind of see exactly what I mean by that, because they have a Zorora, and I don't know how much of the footage I'm going to be showing, but you can just see from the little clips that how much more of an advantage they have from the cards that they have, from what I'm saying. Now, one of my subscribers suggested to me that I actually show a live battle after I'm done my review, so y'all can see exactly what's going inside of my head when I'm doing a duel and so forth, so you can kind of get a little bit more of an understanding of this deck, and I think that is an absolutely phenomenal idea. So, after each review, you're going to be seeing a live battle with each deck. So, now that you know I'm giving this deck a C, let's get straight into the live portion of this video. Alright, so we're into the live-ish portion of this video. Thank you to one of my subs. You know exactly who you are. You're always here, and I really appreciate you. So what we're doing is we're ultimately deciding to add this from here on out. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be adding kind of like a play-ish kind of go, like a round, essentially. Just a round of me playing the deck that I'm reviewing, just so that like y'all will be able to better understand it and so forth, right? I feel like maybe seeing it in action may be able to help, especially if someone's debating to buy this deck or anything like that, or use the deck. Kind of get like that feel of how it works essentially. So you can see right here, what I'd probably want to do here is use Professor's Research after I use the Electric Energy, just in case I can get the Tapu Koko. But yeah, because you get that little Electric Energy, and then you can start setting up a little bit more, right? Let's just see what they do here. So they're setting up the Morpeko V. Yeah, okay, so Professor's Research, and then, or Electric Energy, and then Professor's Research. I'm really not liking this. Okay. We don't really need the electromagnetic radar. I'd probably have preferred something. Ooh. And we're done with, that's all that we can really do this turn. And this is what I mean. Obviously, if you could add like a Bolton or something to this deck, it would add like a lot more efficiency. Have that up first, and then use Electrify right here, so you'd be already all set up. And that's the real deal with this deck, right? Like it's an alright deck. It's just like there's so much more you could improve onto it. Just keep watching or playing this. I don't. Yeah, they might be able to set up the Morpeko V. Yeah, there you go. Do they have an Electric Energy? Yeah, they do. So they should be easily set up the Morpeko V Max, which is not good because I'm not good to set up at all. Fudge. Yeah. Bye bye Pikachu and Zekrom. Okay, now I would use Electric Magnetic Radar for the other Pikachu and Zekrom. Yeah. And then hope to gosh that I can get the Tapu Koko. Not what I need. Or it might be in my prizes. Fudge. Okay, yeah, this is another thing, right? It just has a lot of flaws. There isn't really much that I can do here besides this. So, hope to gosh that we'd even be able to set up the Pikachu before we get, or not the Pikachu, or, oh my gosh, set up the Pikachu and Zekrom before they take out the Raichu and Alolan Raichu, which I'm just kind of like, but this is what I mean, like, if you're able to set up the deck, it's actually a really good deck. It's just that it has a little bit too much flaws when it comes to this. Okay, so I got Reset Stamp here, which isn't really too big of a deal. Should be able to Marnie next turn. Yeah, this is just not not ideal here. Oh my gosh. So they're gonna set up the Alolan Ninetales. Since GX or EXs. Oh my gosh. I was gonna set up the Zapdos. That was on me. Forgot about that. We would be able to at least tack the Alolan Ninetales if anything happened. This is just not looking good at all. So that's what happens when the deck has a little bit too many flaws. Again, you know, adding Bolton V or maybe even a boss's order just to get into, like, you know, the Mew, force them to use a switch or something, like time stall a little bit, might have been a little bit useful, but oh, I don't even have a Malo and Lana. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot. Yeah, so it's GG basically right here. Oh, easy GG. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is awful. Oof, this was not the first live battle that I was hoping to get. Fun. Oh gosh. Okay, yeah, just end it. GG. Again, you can see a little bit what the deck was meant to do. With the Pikachu and Zekrom, you're supposed to be able to get the full Blitz to be able to power up the other Pokemon. But you can also see easily through this live battle how there are flaws to this deck. Pretty big flaws because it's also very, very hard just to set up in general. So, again, I mean, I hope y'all still did enjoy this video. You know, give this a thumbs up, comment, like, rate, subscribe, all this good stuff. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Deuces!